Try to take a guess before I answer this one. Who is the leading receiving yards receiver in Lions history as a rookie? What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are here with the first injury report of the week for the Lions and for the Packers, and also the last week of the season for the Detroit Lions. This is the final week of the regular season. This is it. This is the last game of 2022. Well, now it's 2022, but of the 2021 season for the Lions. Oh my goodness, this season has flown by. I know they added the extra game, but it just doesn't feel that long still, because it's really not that long. But it doesn't feel like that long ago. We were going to Green Bay, we were vlogging, doing things like that for that game, and now here we are, the last game of the season, Lions and Packers. My favorite team to play, but also least favorite team to play.
The city's been down, and it found a way to get up. And when you knock us down, we're going to get up. And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off, all right? And we're going to stand up, and then it's going to take 2 more shots to knock us down. We're going to take another hunk out of you. Before long, we're going to be the last one standing.
Welcome, everybody, to another video. Glad you guys are here. And yes, we're back. And I'm back. I know I've been missing the last couple of days. Actually, well, last night we did a Madden stream, but I was missing the last couple of days. I wasn't feeling well really since Sunday night. Maybe because the Lions played so bad. I don't know, but I was not feeling well since Sunday night. It's kind of carried over the last few days. But here we are. We're back on Wednesday. I do have some video ideas, but I'm not going to rush them because, you know, none of them have to be out before this weekend's game or anything like that. Like, those are things that we can talk about in the offseason. Look, this offseason is going to be pretty darn active with videos and content because of the draft that's coming up in, what, 4 months? January, March. Yeah, 4 months. You have the draft. There's going to be a lot of content this offseason. It's probably going to be maybe even more exciting than right now because, you know, it's that part of the season where it's like, well, we're not really in the playoff picture, but we're still playing. Like, trust me, I love watching the games. I do. And I'm super excited for this weekend. It's going to stink when the season's over, but at the same time, this offseason is going to be super exciting. But we're back. You know, I'm feeling a little bit better today, so we're going to do this video. We'll just kind of see how the week goes, and maybe we'll put out some extra videos here and there aside from the injury reports. But I want to end this thing off the right way. You know, the way we started it. We went through the injury reports every single week. I don't think we've missed a single day of this, and I didn't want to step off the gas or, you know, take any breaks from this injury report thing, and I think we got to finish it off the right way, last game or not. In this game, it should be pretty fun because even though the Packers have locked up the #1 seed, I'll spoil it now, they will be playing all of their starters, if healthy, in this game. It's going to be fun. It's at home, and this is how Lions are going to finish it off. And they've played pretty well against the Packers at home. I would say they've been pretty competitive against the Packers at home recently, but it would be nice to come through and get a win. That would be a great way to end the season. And for all you people out there that are really worried about that draft position, don't worry, because even if we win this weekend, we're still going to be the #2 pick. Now, I guess if we lost and somehow Jacksonville won, then we could get to the #1 pick, but it's super unlikely. Jacksonville, I think they're playing like the Colts. I don't think Jacksonville's winning that game. I know they have to win. That way Pittsburgh has a shot to get in if Pittsburgh can win this weekend, but you know, none of that affects us. Either way, the worst pick we can get now is the second pick in the draft for anybody that's worried about that. We'll go through this. Again, we'll see how the week plays out with videos. I do have some ideas that I'm going to kind of dive into probably today, tomorrow, and throughout the rest of this week. Tomorrow we should be on Last Second Sports for Last Second Dose. We'll be taking a look at the All-22 film, I believe, from last week's game against Seattle. And I know what you're thinking, oh my goodness, there was not a lot of good there. But, well, yeah, there wasn't. There was some good, though. And there's also a lot of learning from a game like that, especially when we talk about who should be brought back. You know, where do we need help? I think that stuff is becoming more and more clear. Every week we see it, especially when you get to see guys multiple times, things like that, backups, all those kind of things. So we'll take a look at that tomorrow with Rab. But let's dive into this injury report. Let's start off with the COVID list first. I know we didn't do a show on Monday, so some of these updates will be from Monday. We'll go through those as well, roster moves, things like that. I was way out of it on Monday. There was no way. Y'all didn't want to see me on Monday. But anyways, let's take a look at this COVID list update. So here's the Lions' current COVID list. As you can see, it's about the same amount of players, but different players this time, which is good and bad. Starting off the top, we have Geronimo Allison. He's been on here for a little while now on the practice squad, but then it looks a little bit different after this. And you have 2 very big names on this list. You're starting right tackle Sewell, and you're starting left tackle Taylor Decker. Now, we had enough problems when Taylor Decker was down, but now you lose Penei Sewell. That's a problem. That's not good. All right. Now, I know that's very concerning, but since they were both placed on this list on Monday, I think last week, Josh Reynolds was also placed on Monday, and Dan Campbell thought they'd probably be able to get him back by Saturday. They were unable to get him back. They said he wasn't ready to go on Saturday, so we know Hodge stepped into a bigger role. But there's definitely time for Penny, Sewell, and Decker to test out of it and be able to come back for this weekend's game.
Sewell and Taylor, Decker, and Austin Bryant will go on the COVID list. And so that'll be coming down the wire.
And according to Dan Campbell, if those guys are able to test out and they're able to get back to the team, they'll probably be able to play even without practicing this week. All right, so that's the good news. But the bad news is that they're on the COVID list. And that hasn't been super often this year that we've seen guys get playlists on the COVID list and the same week return that week and play that week. So if those guys can't play, we're looking at likely Will Holden, probably at left tackle, and Matt Nelson probably at right tackles where he spent most of his time. The good thing here is that Matt Nelson played right tackle against Green Bay the first time around. Not really sure if that's a good thing, but that's what happened. And, of course, Will Holden, we've seen him a little bit as an extra offensive lineman. Heck, last week we were doing 7 offensive line sets, and that was the first time the Lions put that in this year is because they didn't have much tight end depth. So, yeah, Lions could be out there starting 2 tackles. That would be very bad. Hopefully that's not the case. I'm really hoping these guys can get back. How bad it was during the middle of the season. Now, there are some differences now, being that you have the Josh Reynolds, being that Dan Campbell is now your play caller, and Matt Nelson does have some more snaps and experience. Those would be huge losses. So we'll keep an eye on those every day throughout this week and hope for some good news. Austin Bryant, the outside linebacker, is a new addition to this list, and so is Rodney Smith, the running back who is on the practice squad. So a little bit of a smaller COVID list, I believe, but a lot of new names there. And having both your tackles on there, well, it's not a good thing, especially to play a team like Green Bay, who they got some pressure on Matt Nelson last time we played him. Preston Smith got after Jared Goff on one play, got a sack there. They may be able to get Zadarius Smith back this week. I'm not completely sure on that one, but even if they can't, they have a Rashawn Gary on one side and they got Preston Smith on the other side. So they got some really good outside linebackers, and not having either of your tackles would be a problem. Good news is there's a lot of players, as we said, that were taken off this list. Those players include Khalif Raymond. He is no longer on that list. Neither is defensive end Michael Brockers, who we missed so much last week. Brock Wright, the tight end. So there we go. Got a little tight end depth back. Josh Reynolds is no longer on that list, and neither is Big V. So that's a lot of good news. And that was also a big piece we missed last week was Big V. You could see it. Kramer, and you could see it from the jump. He just seemed to really struggle in Seattle. And again, I'm not going to just try to go off on Kramer for that. Seattle's got a really good interior defensive front. They do, and they were really good at stopping the run. We looked at that before the game even started on Sunday's pregame show. But we did miss Big V. We definitely did. We struggled to run the ball last week. So, yeah, some really interesting stuff. But that's just kind of how it's been with the COVID list. You just don't know who's going to hit it. It's just kind of random. So you can't really be prepared for it, I guess is the best way to put it. So that moves us to the Lions side of the injury report. Let's kick it off there. Let's get into it. We got some good news on the participation report. Now today, Dan Campbell called it kind of a modified practice. I think most teams do this on Wednesday. They do it a little bit later. There's going to be a lot more 7-on-7 passing drills. So let's take a look at the Lions injury report now. Starting off at the top, Jason Kabinda, the fullback knee, did not participate. He was out last week, and he did not participate today. That would be a nice piece to get back as well. I know having Brock right back is cool, but having Kabinda back would be pretty awesome as well because they do like to use that tight end. Michael Brockers, he's back. So taking off the COVID list, like we said, he's pretty much been limited all year. There's no surprise when you see that, but as you can see, it's a neck injury this time, so that's something to keep an eye on, but limited participation, so hopefully he's okay. We'll see. We'll know a lot more tomorrow with this. By the way, you guys notice that new background? You like that? I think that's kind of clean. I did the same thing for Green Bay. You will see it. All right, when we get to that side, I kind of like theirs too. But I think the theme's kind of, I don't know why that's the theme. Why are we doing Hawaiian flowers and stuff? I don't know. It's cold outside, but I thought it looked cool. It mixes it up a little bit. This is the final week. Let's go crazy. Come on, man. But anyways, Michael Brockers limited participation. Now, here's the big one again. Jared Goff. For the first time in 3 weeks, Goff has practiced. Knee, limited participation today.
Yesterday was pretty promising, and so today's kind of a modified practice, but we see him, taking the reps. It'll be more passing related, 7-on-7 type stuff. that I think he'll be able to participate in and get our skill guys moving a little bit.
Jared Goff said it's a bone bruise. Brought up Lamar Jackson, who's dealing with a bone bruise on his ankle, and he was kind of struggling to move around. But Jared Goff is dealing with a bone bruise on his knee, and he said this: it's progressing, but he said he hopes to play on Sunday. He said we'll see how the week goes. Right now, he doesn't really have a great answer because of how early it is in the week, so he's just kind of wait and see.
I think his is in his ankle, if I'm not. Yeah. I don't know, and that's not, mine's in the knee, so it's a little bit different. I haven't seen any video of Lamar moving around, but I moved around quite a bit today, and like I said, I hope to be able to go.
But the good news it was limited today. He was moving around in practice. He was taking reps in the 7-on-7 drills. So tomorrow will likely be a huge update. If it's again limited, that's a great sign. If it's like no participation, that's probably super concerning because again, today was probably a little bit lighter for practice. But very good update there for Goff. And it looks like Goff may be in line to get back and play. Lions have won their last 2 home games. So he wants to play in this game, dealing with his knee injury, and this is a pretty solid start to the week. We'll keep an eye on the updates with that one. Moving down, Jonah Jackson with the guard dealing with an elbow injury. He had limited participation. It's a new injury for Jonah Jackson, and he played every single snap in last week's game against the Seattle Seahawks. So getting Big V back, as you can see, he's not on this list, and having Jonah Jackson, hopefully he's able to play this week. Your interior should look pretty solid, but, the tackle position is where you got to keep an eye on. This whole offensive line is going to be something to monitor throughout this entire week. Jalen Reese-Maybin, shoulder, limited. It's been like that for weeks, but he's also played the last few weeks, and he's played well the last few weeks. So there he is, shoulder, limited participation. You wrap it up with Brock Wright, who was taken off of the COVID list with a groin injury, who is limited today in practice as well. Getting both Khalif Raymond back, Josh Reynolds back, that's huge. I mean, you got to look back. There's been a lot that's changed since the first time we played this Green Bay Packers team. A lot has changed. Back then we had Cephas, who started off the game super strong, but we had Matt Nelson at right tackle. There's been so much that's changed. I went back and I watched the first half, a little bit of the second half against Green Bay, and it's just like, man, some of the guys, I mean, we had Romeo Okwara against Green Bay. I kind of forgot Romeo played at all this season. We had Romeo in that game. That moves us to the Packers side. Let's take a look at what the Packers got going on. Let's start off with the IR. There's their list. But, oh my goodness, I like the background. I do. I shouldn't have gave them such a cool background. That thing is stylish. It really is. I like it. Anyway, let's take a look at the IR. You see Randall Cobb's on there, Kylan Hill, who was playing last time we played the Packers as their kick returner. You see Myers on there, their center. Who else? Zadarius Smith, their outside linebacker. There's some big name, Robert Tunyon. So this thing has changed big time. For the Green Bay Packers, one of their big goals is that they will be playing, according to Matt LaFleur, their starters if healthy.
Matt, you are starting everybody who's healthy on Sunday. Is that what you're definitely saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Talk to the team. The guys want to play, so that's what we're going to do. Now, of course, if they get up really big in the game, they could take guys out. But they're like, our plan is to go in there and try to win a game in Detroit. And like he said, they haven't played great in the past in Ford Field. Even though they locked up the #1 seed, they've locked that thing up. They're not going to be resting starters in this game. So I like that. I don't want to see us go out there and play backups. Let's go. I hope we got our guys. Hopefully Goff comes back and hopefully our tackles come back. And I want to see them play their starters too. So this should be an exciting week. And plus, only one team now gets the bye week, and that's the 1 seed. So since they've already locked that up, they're going to get a bye week either way. Looking at the COVID list, Jair Alexander is on that list. One thing Green Bay wants to do is get a lot of these guys back because there's a lot of players that could possibly be brought back this week or guys that they're hoping that can get some game action this week before they get into their playoff run with also another week to get prepared through practice. Jair Alexander, we know the top corner. Now, they've changed up their cornerback position a little bit since then as well. Remember, last time we played them, they had Kevin King, and Quintez Cephas had some success, especially the early play where we got the deep pass to him on 3rd down. I think it was 3rd and 1. We went deep to Quintez Cephas, and that was on Kevin King. But since that time, they've now had Rasul Douglas in there, and the guy's been crazy. Have you looked at his numbers? The guy's on a 51% completion percentage, a 44 passer rating. He's got 5 interceptions. The IR, their center Myers, he did practice today. He has opened his 21-day window. He did go through individual drills is what Matt LaFleur told us. They did not have Zadarius Smith in practice. Now, Zadarius Smith had back surgery at the beginning of the season. They shut him down after the Saints game. He didn't even play a ton in the Saints game. He's dealing with it throughout training camp, so they shut him down. So we didn't get to see him week 1 either. He's still on the IR, and he did not return to practice today. Another big name that went through individual drills today for the Packers, the offensive tackle, David Bakhtiari is listed with limited participation. So they do their individual drills before they get into their team drills. And like we said, today was more of a walkthrough. So they were just going to kind of see how players were feeling.
Jaw's on the COVID list, so until he clears protocol, he won't be back in the building. And then as far as David will go through an individual, as well as Josh Myers. Who else is there? Wallers. Yeah, Z won't be out there today, but those other two guys will be out there, and they'll go through individual. And really today, like you guys know, it's mostly been walkthrough type settings after we get through that individual period. So we'll see where we're at after the individual, whether or not they're going to take some of those walkthrough reps.
A lot of Packers fans have been asking for him. They want to see him be able to get back. Then he moved to Devondre Campbell, who's had a really good season. I know he's been getting a lot of hype for media everywhere. We looked at him, I think, a lot. The first time we took a look at the Packers coming around in week number 2. Devondre Campbell, I like this guy defensively. Dealing with an elbow injury, limited participation today. Dominique Daphne, the tight end, with an ankle injury. He hasn't really played much. He's like their 4th tight end. He's got 1 reception this season. There's a big one. It's Aaron Jones dealing with a knee injury, listed with limited participation, but this has been the case for weeks now, that he's been limited in practice, as he's, I think back since week 11, they said that he's been listed with limited participation due to his knee injury, but he should be good to go for this weekend's game. Then you have Kingsley on here as well, who's missed the last 2 weeks. He's listed with an illness this week because of a personal reason, and then the COVID list, listed with illness, did not participate, so hopefully he's okay, but he may be able to get right back to full participation tomorrow or Friday. And then Aaron Rodgers. Quarterback toe, did not participate. Now, I don't expect Rodgers to miss this weekend's game. He did meet with the media today, and he wants to play as well in this game. So don't expect there to be no Aaron Rodgers in this game. He's thinking he's going to be able to get that thing to 100% by the time the playoff starts. He's just trying to avoid a setback, which is why some fans are like, maybe we shouldn't play him, but they want to go. So Rodgers is on here, but expect him to play this weekend. He should be able to play against the Lions. Put together the stats for the Green Bay Packers for this game today, and here I'll throw the stats on the screen for you guys. As you can see, they're allowing the most yards per carry in the National Football League at 4.8. So hopefully the Lions can have some success rushing, and they had a lot of success running the ball last time we played Green Bay. We only had 19 carries, went well over 100 yards, averaged 5.7 yards a carry. We ran the ball well. A lot of cutback lanes. Jamal had some solid runs. The issue in that game is that we really just could not continue to run the ball. One reason being is that we fell behind because of turnovers second half. Then we had flags that killed our entire second drive. Remember, last time we played Green Bay, it was a heck of a game at half. I'm pretty sure we were actually winning at halftime the first time we played Green Bay, around 17-14. Like I said, our second drive was just completely derailed by flags, and we've seen that happen way too many times this season. But in the second half, just turnovers. The fumble led to a touchdown. Green Bay picked up like a 3rd and 10 on Iffy, which is the play that he actually got injured on. It was just a few swing plays in that game, which got things out of control. And at that point, the Lions couldn't lean on their run game anymore. And then, of course, when you look at who Green Bay has at pass rusher, even if they don't have Zadarius Smith, Preston Smith, or Rashawn Gary, who combined have, I think, 18.5 sacks this season. They both played well. That's going to give you some problems. Plus, when you look at the Packers, you can see against the run, teams don't run the ball a ton against them, probably because they're winning a lot of the time, but they are pretty darn good against the pass. You can see 8th in completion percentage, 18 interceptions. That's 4th in the league. 84.5 pass rating. That's 8. Basically, they're a top 5, top 10 pass defense, however you want to look at it, right? They're a good pass defense. And now their cornerback position is pretty much figured out between Eric Stokes and Rasul Douglas. If they can get Jair Alexander back this weekend, it'll be important for the Lions to not turn the ball over, 1, which should help because they'll be indoors. And number 2, be able to keep that run game alive, because that, for a while, has kind of been a Packers' weakness, is stopping the run. But they're built so well to play with the lead that you can easily fall down to this team. And the first time we played the Packers, we got the ball first, we scored first, and we kept the pressure on them until all of a sudden we didn't when we started turning the ball over. That'll be very important in this game. Now, looking at the Packers' offensive stats, here you go. They run the ball, they're pretty solid at rushing the football, as you can see through the numbers on the top. Passing the ball, Aaron Rodgers, he's looking for a number MVP. He kind of he went off on what a voter said about Aaron Rodgers. I thought it was pretty funny for the MVP award. But these are his statistics. These are their statistics passing the football. Yeah, they're pretty solid. You know, basically second best in the National Football League. They don't get sacked very much. Top 10 in scoring. You know, top 10 in third down. LaFleur kept bringing up how much the Lions are blitzing recently, so a lot of their focus is going to be their pass protection plans. I'm not sure if the Lions are going to blitz that much in this game. Maybe they do. I mean, clearly it didn't work against Seattle. I don't know if they're going to blitz that much. Now, last time we played them, we did have Romeo, which does change things up a little bit, but we didn't seem to blitz them a ton. You know, there was a couple 5-man rushes in there. Usually don't have a lot of success blitzing the Packers when their offensive line's playing well, and then, of course, you have Aaron Rodgers, and you got guys that can win one-on-one, but we will be seeing Iffy again, young corner. So this is, I mean, that's kind of cool. Like, he got injured in this game, but now he's back, you know, for revenge. Okay, Iffy, go do your thing this weekend. Definitely Lions can be competitive in it. They've done it for the last few years.
I just go to this. I mean, we're at the end of the year. The last 2 games that we played at home, Minnesota and Arizona, I mean, our fans are like in it to the very end. And it was loud in there and it was energetic. And so it's been great. You know, it's everything that we already know, man. When we get this thing turned to where we want it, man, we've got the fans and they're ready to roll, and we'll do our part.
I expect to be loud in there, being that it's the final game of the season. Lions are going to probably pull out a whole bunch of craziness, you know, trying to win this game. But I do think the Lions, you know, they could absolutely hang with them if they avoid some of those calls of turnovers. Hopefully being indoors allows them to do that because, you know, they want to run the football. They have both their running backs. If they can get their tackles back against a team that's not great at stopping the run, they just stop the run because you can't run, if you know what I'm saying. And Campbell also addressed the idea of him being the offensive coordinator possibly going forward. And he's talked about his improvements there. I feel he's been way better, you know, being the offensive coordinator. And, you know, we know he's going to finish the season, meaning that there's only 1 game left. But he didn't really go into the future knowing whether or not he was going to do it.
Big Dave, I haven't. I mean, I know that I'm getting a lot more comfortable, and I feel like this is something that I do believe I can do and be good at, but I'm not ready to commit to what I'm doing next year yet. I got to sit down and process all this.
Wrap it up with this. So Amon-Ra St. Brown, you could become the record holder for a Lions rookie receiver in terms of receiving yards in a season. Right now he's trailing. Can you guess who it is? Try to take a guess before I answer this one. Who is the leading receiving yards receiver in Lions history as a rookie?
Oh, yeah!
That receiver is Roy Williams. Okay, Roy Williams had 817 yards and 8 touchdowns. Now, while I don't think St. Brown is going to pass the touchdown side, by the way, Kelvin Johnson was second until Mr. St. Brown said, hold up, let me take that spot. Kelvin Johnson had 756 and 4 TDs in his rookie season. Of course, there's a lot of factors that go into this, but it's still a great spot to be if you're a St. Brown. And right now, he currently has 82 receptions, which is nuts. That's a lot of receptions. He's been crazy recently. All right, he's got a chance to, if he hits 8 receptions again, which Goff said we don't want to force it to him, but that'd be 6 straight for St. Brown. But he right now has 803 yards, 4 touchdowns. So he won't get the touchdown mark, but all he needs is 15 yards to get that record, 14 to tie.
Yeah, I didn't know that one. How many yards does he need?
15, I think. So a nice intermediate out.
You'd hope he'd get that one. Yeah, I think that one. And then I do know the one that he's got the 8 catches 5 weeks in a row. See if we can make it 6. I don't think we're going to try to force it to him, but the last handful of weeks, it's come pretty organically. And yes, I don't know if I'll be aware of that during the game, but sure, you're kind of aware of it throughout the week.
Kind of talking as if they're going to get up big in this game, like it's going to happen. Like, okay, this would be such a great game to just go out there and beat them. You know, just beat them. Roll your starters out, and we just beat them at home. St. Brown gets the record. That would be just a beautiful way to close this season. Wouldn't that be just amazing to close the season with that? I mean, that would be awesome. Packers just like, what just happened? Heading into they're confused, heading into their dang bye week of the playoffs. I'm just saying, that'd be great. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, though, man. That's what I got for the first injury report of the week. We'll keep an eye on this throughout the week. We'll follow the final injury report of the week. And, yeah, we back. Thank you, everybody, for sticking around. I know we missed the last couple of days, but we're back now, and we're ready to go for this final game of the season. Thank you, Pat, for watching, and I'm out.